Good evening everyone and welcome to our very first and very special TCTV. And this is a great opportunity now for you to be able to learn about all things cruising. So whether it's about a cruise ship style, whether it's about a new destination or a brand that you may be not too familiar with, it's going to be a great way for you to be able to learn about all things cruising. So we'll be running these sessions 4 times over the month of September, 7:30 on a Wednesday evening Eastern States time. If you do have any questions, please do get in contact with your travel counsellor and they'll be more than happy to assist. And we're joined by one of our great supplier partners in Michael from Royal Caribbean. So thanks for joining us, Michael.
No problem, Jonathan. Great to be here.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's get going and we'll see you all very soon.
A big disgrace, waving your banner all over the place. We will rock you. Sing it out. We will rock you.
Today's all about learning about all things Royal Caribbean. Obviously, being the expert on all things Royal Caribbean with Michael and the team, great partners at Travel Counsellors. So we're really pleased to have them in the studio. But I guess what we want to get right into is who are Royal Caribbean for those who are watching who may not be too familiar. And I guess what is Royal Caribbean all about?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Royal Caribbean, we're the second largest cruise line in the world, and we're all about innovation and technology, and we're home to some of the world's biggest ships, or the biggest ships in the world.
Yeah, I was about to say some of the biggest ships are absolutely amazing, aren't they?
Absolutely. Like, we make the impossible possible, and things we put on ships just to make everyone's dreams come alive, which is fantastic. So no matter what you're doing on your holiday, you'll always be entertained or have something to do on a Royal Caribbean ship, which is fantastic.
Absolutely. So Royal Caribbean, great well-known brand within the travel industry and out in the cruise industry as well. Where are Royal Caribbean cruising at the moment? I know there's a few ships that come down into Australia, but it's basically worldwide, isn't it?
Absolutely, we are worldwide. So we've got 23 ships in the fleet. So we cover all 6 continents, over 270 ports around the world. So there's pretty much anywhere you want to go. We'll be able to take you there with Royal. Under our banner as well, we've also got a couple other cruise lines, which is Celebrity Cruises and also Azamara Club Cruises. So between all of our brands, we've got many different destinations. We've even got special ships in the Galapagos that do all-inclusive itineraries there. Celebrity goes down and also does Antarctica, and Azamara really focuses very heavily on the Mediterranean and nice and close shore excursions. But with Royal, yeah, we're absolutely all around. So obviously we feature heavily in the Caribbean and also the Mediterranean, but all around. So we've got 5 ships, or 4 ships this season, and 5 ships coming down for next season, just down into Australia alone. So
very exciting. I was going to put you on the spot and ask what ships do we have down in Australia going, and what do we have at the moment. So
absolutely.
For those who are looking to cruise ex-Australia, what's available to I guess the general public at the moment?
Absolutely. We've got the 2 largest ships in the Australian waters for this year, which is the Voyager of the Seas and the Explorer of the Seas. We've just spent over $80 million each on those ships, so they're looking absolutely fantastic with a full revitalisation. We've added amazing new features such as the Flow Rider. For the first time, we've got virtual balconies on board those ships as well, which is something really different.
Yeah, I was about to say, we'll touch on that a little bit in our chat, but that innovation always comes into it, doesn't it? And
absolutely.
These virtual balconies, and it's literally just like a massive big wall of a TV that is the balcony.
Yeah,
so for those of you who are booking an inside cabin and a little bit conscious of maybe having that cabin fever feeling,
you'll still have an amazing view like this.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got it all behind you, and you can flick between different scenes and scenarios and things. So it's amazing piece of technology.
Absolutely, absolutely. We've also got another couple of ships as well in the Australian market for this year. We've got the Radiance of the Seas. which is a beautiful ship with only 2,200 passengers, so more of a smaller mid-sized ship, and even one dedicated up in the Brisbane market. So sailing out of Brisbane, we've got the Legend of the Seas, which is our smallest ship, which has 2,000 passengers on board. So, but the great international theme of Royal Caribbean is very streamlined across all of our ships. So
beautiful stuff. And I know that we've got Celebrity Solstice as well. You did mention the other brands.
I did, yes.
And she home ports out of Sydney, doesn't she?
Correct.
And,
the beautiful Solstice.
Beautiful Solstice.
Yeah,
so.
no, we're very lucky with the Solstice. She's the highest rated cruise ship here in the Australian market, so it's great to have her here home based, and beautiful fresh cut grass up on the top deck, and your fine food, fine wines.
Yeah.
If you like the 5-star product, then you've
definitely
got Celebrity Solstice for that. And also at the end of this year we've got the Azamara ships coming to Australia as well.
That's exciting news, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So the Journey will be coming down, which will be fantastic, and we'll see that, and also the Quest both coming down over this year and next year. So yeah, lots of ships coming down, which is wonderful.
And the big girl,
yes, the Ovation,
soon to come down.
Very exciting.
That's hot on everyone's kind of lips at the moment, isn't it? Because
Absolutely.
It's such an amazing vessel in itself. I was lucky enough to see Anthem of the Seas, which is one of her sister ships, and the technology, the fittings, everything about these new ships is just absolutely incredible. You can't even describe what you see and what you experience while you are on board, and it's so special that we're going to have her down to be able to experience that for all the Australian clients, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's going to be the newest ship and the largest ship ever to come to Australia. So right now she hasn't even been built. So when she does get down to Australia at the end of next year, so the first sailing will be on the 15th of December. So a great Christmas cruise opportunity. And we'll have 4,200 passengers on her. But absolutely, as you mentioned, technology is key. It is the world's first smart ship. So you've got amazing wristband technology. We've got the first ever skydiving simulator on board, as well as some of our other favourites like the Flow Rider. We've got a wonderful area on board called the Seaplex, which is a mecca for families and big kids alike. So in there,
cars and everything.
Trapeze and we also do roller skating in there, so there's such a great space for everyone, but also a lot of areas for the adults to relax with the adults solarium and tranquility pools and things like that. You've also got DreamWorks characters floating around. It's got everything for everyone. Bionic bar, that's a big favourite.
Yeah, that's one thing that I did see, and it was one of the first things I did when I was lucky enough to see Anthem was, what's this Bionic bar? What's it all about? What's the drinks going to happen? Am I going to get a drink thrown in my face from a robot or something like that? But you literally go through, and it's technology is a big part of it. So you get your iPad, you select all your little ingredients and things like that, and then shakes it up and shakes it all up, and it is amazing. And the technology on board the ship, I know you mentioned the wristbands and things like that. Gone are the days of having to worry about carrying around your swipe card and things like that.
You can just relax and
fits on like a wristwatch, and you don't have to worry about it. You can open up your room with it. You can get around. It can go to your expense sea pass and everything like that. It is one of the best kitted out ships you will ever experience, and you touched on all the experiences as well. So there's Flow Rider, there's the virtual skydiving, there's the area with the Seaplex, the North Star, which is like a big viewing pod which goes over the middle of the ship, and everything that is being put on these ships. And you mentioned it before, you make the impossible possible.
Definitely.
You would never think that you could do something like that on board a cruise ship, would you?
No, well, for me to be able to do trapeze or do a skydiving simulator or anything like that at sea is just phenomenal. And the great part about it is, whilst having all of these amazing things on board the ship, part of the ship is your holiday experience, but you're still getting to see all the destinations as you're travelling. And again, that amazing key feature of cruising, which of course is getting on board and simply unpacking once, and just having everything right there at your doorstep. The ship is absolutely beautiful. It's a great sort of morph between our royal and our celebrity ships. She's absolutely stunning, and obviously getting to see a brand new ship in the Australian waters is a real coup for us. So we're really excited with that.
And that's just a big thing too. It shows the I guess how big and emerging the Australian cruise market is. For those of you who may be a little bit more into cruising, you'll always hear about how big and how much it is pushing forward, and to be able to see that we are getting a brand new ship ship shows the commitment from Royal Caribbean into the Australian cruise market, which is really pleasing, which is only going to enhance your experience along the way. So it's fantastic that we do have that support from the cruise lines when we do get them down here. So once we do have people on the ship, I know we touched on a couple of cabins with the virtual balconies and things like that, but I guess the breadth of options for the clients is something that's really special as well, isn't it? Because there's so many options, like we said before, from a virtual balcony and an inside cabin right up to an owner's suite. It's like a duplex multi-room apartment.
Absolutely. They're bigger than most houses. So, and that's the great thing with our ships as well, because of the sheer size of them. You haven't just got the standard 4 rooms of your interior ocean view balcony and then your stateroom or a suite. We've got multiple levels, so we've got family junior suites. We can accommodate 5 or 6 passengers in a room, and also have great interconnection options as well. Even doing a lot of disabled rooms, even solo traveller cabins, things like that. So we've got a great range for everybody, which is wonderful. But like you said, those big suites. Wow, absolutely amazing.
It is crazy when you do see them, and you mentioned it before, they're bigger than most apartments or houses that people live in on dry land, and you do see them, and they're multi-level with all these massive expansive balconies inside and outside. So options, although they may seem to be a little bit more on the premium scale, once you do actually, you can fill up these rooms with more people than just your, your dual occupancy. You can actually bring that price down. It's very affordable, isn't it?
Oh,
when you have a look at some of these suites.
When you break it down, versus how many passengers are in the cabin, and on a per day basis, we sort of average around $150 to $200 a day, and you're staying in great quality 4 to 4.5 star accommodation. You've got all your meals included. I haven't really mentioned the food yet,
I was about to say.
On board the ship, you've got a plethora of choice when it comes to dining. Even on the new ships, we've got Jamie Oliver's Italian, just Wonderland, and so many other signature restaurants as well. Japanese, we've got Italian. All of those different ones, so they're great to go in and dine there. But that's all inclusive as well, apart from some of your premium restaurants, which is a charge, like Jamie Oliver's, for example.
But it's only a small charge. It's as if you're paying
$30. To dine at a Jamie restaurant for $30, it's fantastic. So
and the quality is exceptional as well. Like when you do get onto a cruise ship, it is something that people start maybe questioning. It's like, okay, so I'm away for 8 days.
Am I going to be stuck at the buffet the whole time?
What's happening? Am I going to be eating the same thing? Am I going to be eating all this pre-prepared food, and it's not going to be fresh? But when you do get in there, it is it's all a la carte. You order off a menu, you order like you are at a restaurant on dry land again, and the food and the quality is absolutely exceptional. And with these specialty dining options as well, very affordable to get that real prime kind of wow experience out of it.
And look, at the end of the day, the food that is in the main dining room and the buffets and the room service and all the other eateries on board the ship that's included is exceptional. It's more for if you're just wanting to, have a nice night, or if you wanted to go and, try something different. You've got our signature steakhouse, like the Chops Grill, on board, or we've got Giovanni's Table, which is fantastic Italian, and, they really, put on a fantastic meal and plenty of it as well. So you're definitely getting your money's worth with any of our signature restaurants on board. But some of the best food I've ever had has even just been in our main dining room. Like, I've been in the travel industry for a long time, and we're always very well spoilt, and we eat very well. And some of the best meals I've ever had, whether it be in the top 5-star small ship luxury experience that I've done in the past to this today, it's exceeded my expectation in every level. So the food is incredible. So that's a great part of your holiday as well.
Making me hungry now. Actually, I feel like I remember when I was on there, it was creme brulees every night for dessert. It's one of my weaknesses.
Hit the gym the next day.
Yeah, that's it. You've got the option there to be able to hit the gym and
great gyms as well.
So it's really good. One of the things that I know some people who are more accustomed to cruising are a little bit concerned about, or are kind of questioning a little bit, is the, freedom choice dining, my time dining and things like that. For those of them who are, a little bit concerned about it, let's blow away all those myths, because it does work, doesn't it? People
Absolutely.
think there's,
how's 4,000 people going to eat?
How are they going to eat? How am I going to make my reservation? Where am I going to eat? How's it going to work?
Yeah.
It does work.
Absolutely.
And when I saw it, I don't know how it did, but it just worked. It just works.
When we've got a size ship that big, obviously it's all about multiple choices. So on that ship with 4,000 odd people, we've got 18 different dining options. On the big ships like the Oasis class, which is our largest, we've got over 23 dining options on board.
Crazy.
So, you're going to have people that will want to stay in and have some room service, or just have a nice casual dinner at the buffet, or go into the deli, or go to the pizzeria, or one of those. And then you've got, with our new ship, with the Ovation, you've actually got 4 specialty dining restaurants that's included in your cruise fare, rather than the big.
Bounce around those
Absolutely.
ones.
And you can either just go with your standard time of your 6 or 8:30 sitting, or you can just go in and do your my time dining and just go in at your leisure.
Yeah.
So, the holiday's totally at your pace, which is fantastic, and that's what I love about cruising.
Yeah, it is, and that's the good thing about it, is that you can, work off your own time. So rather than locking yourself in for, the traditional 6 or the 8 o'clock sitting, you can maybe stay up on deck and watch the sunset and have a drink up there, and then think, what,
enjoy a cocktail and listen to the band.
I'll go back to my room and have a shower and get changed a little bit later, and do it at your own pace, rather than having to look at your watch and be like, oh, all right, I've got to get back to my room, I've got to get changed, I've got to go to, my 6 or my 8 o'clock. It does give you that freedom of choice, which is fantastic. So it's
and being on board our ships as well, full well you'll never starve.
No, not at all. There's
ship, so
literally food everywhere. No matter where you go, there'll be a smaller dining outlet, or there'll be one of the main restaurants doing tastings during the day, trying to give everyone the experience. There's always ways to be able to get fed and experience all the fine food and dining, because it is amazing.
Absolutely, and even something quick and simple. We've got Johnny Rockets on board a lot of our ships as well, so that's very interactive. The staff come out and sing and dance, and just great for that family atmosphere. And of course, one thing we haven't mentioned as well is our drinks on board the ship. One thing that's very unique for us is our drinks packages with Royal Caribbean. So if you do like a beverage or two, you can actually pre-purchase your drinks packages before you go,
and
which
that's
makes
a
the
great
experience
way
so much easier.
to make it a lot more affordable as well. And there's lots of different packages, so it's not as if you just pay one standard rate, but there's lots of different ones. There's like soft drink and juices for the kids, and for those of you who don't want to have to I guess pay through the nose to absolutely get all the bells and whistles. There's lots of different options there.
Yeah, and look, it's so easy. Just so you're on a holiday, you're relaxed, you've got your SeaPass card or your wristband, just to go, I'll have another one of those cocktails and just tap, and next thing you know, at the end of 10 days, you get your bill. It's like, what? I don't remember that. Or so at least it's at least your budget, you're pre-planned, you're budgeted. You're not going to get that bill shock at the end of your cruise, and it's just nice and simple to just relax. But it's just the thing I love about it. After the first couple of days, the staff on board will know what beverage package you've got. So that it's like, Jonathan, I can see him coming. Yep, I'll get your drink ready, and here it is waiting for you. So again, it's just that little niceties on the service, and amazingly, even with 3,000 or 4,000 people on board, the staff do remember you.
So they do notice. They do get to know, like you say, they'll get to know the wine you're drinking or the beer that you drink, and they'll have it ready to go, and it's no questions asked, and it's all nice and easy. So the level of service and those little touches is what make it very, very special. And like you say, with 3,000 or 4,000 people, it's a tough job for them to be able to do that and remember it, but they do it, and they do it day after day, which is pretty spectacular. We talked about the drinks packages and those add-ons and things like that. Another little thing which people sometimes question and think about when they cruise is the onboard currency. What do Royal Caribbean, how do they operate the onboard currency?
Certainly. Now, just to make it simple and streamlined across our 3 brands, the Royal, Celebrity and Azamara, all of our onboard pricing is in US currency. So it is US dollars, just to make it simple. But again, the price point is a lot lower as you'd expect to pay in America, rather than some of the exorbitant prices some can charge in AUD on board. So it sort of does work its way out. So don't be, it's going to be charged. Everything that people book and pay for here in Australia for your cruise fare and for your holiday is in
Is
Australian
yep.
dollars. It's just when you're on board. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I know that you do get the option when you are selling any bills and accounts at the end of it, you get the option to be able to select a Royal Caribbean rate, which is obviously the rate of exchange, or if you want to use your own bank's rate of exchange, you can as well. So there's lots of different options to make sure that you're as comfortable with it as well. So it's something that with drinks packages and things like that, at the end of the day, like you mentioned before, I think bill shock can be something that comes into cruise as well.
Yeah, I've had some of my friends come back from another cruise line, and they've said, my bar bill was more than what I paid for the cruise fare. I'm like, wow. So at least this way, as I said, it's totally up to you. It's one of those things you can either do before you go or on board the ship. But it's just good to lock it away, and then for 10 days I've budgeted $500. That's my drinking money. That's just nice and simple. But if you don't, it's totally personal. If you don't like a drink, then just pay as you go.
Sit back and enjoy the ride.
Exactly. So, but one thing as well, like just all the entertainment on board as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know we touched on nearly everything else, but we haven't even talked about all the amazing entertainment and all the things to keep you busy while you are cruising. The entertainment, I know they've got the big grand theatres, and you've got all the little bars, a piano bar, or just one of the bars up on deck where you'll have guitarists or a little duo up there as well. There's so much entertainment on board to keep you going, isn't there?
Yeah, like you'll never be bored on a Royal Caribbean ship at all. So there's always, as you said, the entertainment. We've got licensed Broadway musicals in the main theatre for our bigger ships of the Oasis and the Quantum class. So Ovation will have a licensed Broadway show, and down the back of the ship we've got this amazing show which is down in the 270 degree bar, which will just absolutely blow your mind visually. Did you see the show?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, everything comes alive.
This area 270, for those of you who haven't been on one of the ships, is basically the back of the ship where you've got just this amazing big glass wall. During the day you can sit there, relax, and just watch the world float by. But by night they've got all these, I guess they're like bionic screens that come down and turn this room into this virtual environment with an interactive cabaret show, and you've got people dropping down from behind you and coming up and running down the aisles and singing and dancing and popping up from everywhere.
Platforms and robotic arms and screens. It's the most amazing show I've ever seen, whether it be on land or at sea. It really is
incredible,
visually spectacular. And as you said, in every bar we've got live entertainment as well, so you can sit there at the schooner bar and sing along with the pianist as he just plays whatever songs you like. You can actually sit there and choose what song you like. We've got the old classics as well, your karaoke, your bingo, your trivia. There's so much entertainment to be had on board. And on a lot of our ships as well, we've even got the DreamWorks characters. So
the kids are all entertained
absolutely,
as well.
like the Voyager on board the Ovation and a lot of the other ships, you've got them all there. So they do a full DreamWorks parade. Kids can go around the ship and get photos with them, and they can even dine with them as well. So you can have breakfast with Shrek and Fiona and Puss in Boots and the Madagascar penguins. So it's great to have everything on board. But a lot of people think, Royal Caribbean's just about families, because it absolutely covers every single market, which is what I love about it. You've got everything for everyone. So the multi-generational holidays, for the older demographic, the younger demographic. The technology that we have on board the ship is also creating a lot more buzz with the younger market. So you can get on board and, we've got real-time Wi-Fi. So you can actually sit there and FaceTime and, look at your Facebook and stay connected. Yeah.
It's one of the big things, and I know we've talked about it previously, but you wouldn't think that sitting out in the middle of the ocean you'd have great connectivity, but the speeds that you do get, and you mentioned before FaceTiming and staying connected to your loved ones back on shore, it's a breeze on Royal Caribbean, because you've got that level of connectivity there, and the whole ship is wired up, so it's not as if you have to go in special areas or anything like that. You've literally got it everywhere that you can go.
That's right. For me personally, I'd love to just turn the phone off on a holiday and just forget about the world. But unfortunately, these days with the technology, everyone wants to stay connected. So we're able to do that with our amazing boom technology that we have on board our ships. So and look, the packages for the internet on board is very well priced, considering some can pay some really high rates. It's about $20 a day to stay connected,
really
which is
option.
great. On some of our ships in the Caribbean, we've also included free Wi-Fi, so there's a lot more of that technology really getting out there, just to everyone to stay connected, which is great.
Yeah.
So.
I know we've talked about it a little bit with the kiddies and making sure that they're well occupied. We talked about the Seaplex. You can literally do whatever you want in there. It is an amazing space. But kids clubs and things like that, if mum and dad want to have an afternoon or a little bit of spare time, how does that all work? Is there a cost? Is there an add-on for that? Or
no, look, the kids clubs are complimentary. Yep. So we're very lucky with Royal. We can actually accommodate as young as 6 months old on board our ships. Between the ages of 6 months to 3 years, we do require an adult to be present during that time, but from the ages of 3 years through to 17 years, we've got our kids clubs which are complimentary, so the adults can put the kids in the kids club whilst they can go off and enjoy a bit of their holiday whilst on board the ship. And the activities in the kids club, look, I've been in the teen club and I didn't want to leave. There's so much to do in there. They've got these funky chairs and they've got the foosball and the billiards and
they've got PlayStations everywhere and
absolutely.
Video arcade games. There can never be a time that the kids would be sitting there twiddling their thumbs thinking, come on mum and dad, come back already.
Exactly. And then they'll do an activity where they'll use the Seaplex area, or they'll go out to the sports court and play basketball or indoor soccer or something like that as well. We've got rock climbing walls on all of our ships. So we've got mini golf courses. You've got absolutely everything on board. So no matter which ship you're on, you'll always be entertained, which is fantastic. So it just covers every market. And I guess the only other thing, if you're wanting to get some private babysitting in the stateroom, you can do that. There is a nominal charge for doing that. I think it's about $9 or $10 an hour or something like that. But
so
for
really
a holiday, if you're enjoying a great show and you're having a great night and you're wanting to do that, you can do that. But the kids clubs go up to about 10 p.m. at night.
Absolutely, and I think one of the most important things out of seeing, the breadth of what Royal Caribbean do is that it does cater for all families. It does cater for the younger market, the more mature market. There's lots of options there to ensure that when they are on board, they're going to be well satisfied with everything. So from the food to the drink to the activities to the dining, absolutely everything's covered for everyone, all bases, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. I mean, all this week and last week I've been doing expos pretty much every day, and it's great to be able to get the feedback from our loyal clients that sail with us all the time, and they absolutely love us, and that's the reason where Royal is continuing to really grow and expand in the Australian market, is because we've finally brought down these amazing big ships of a great international standard, and people get to see our point of difference in the Australian market and how we look after everyone on board, the food, the entertainment, and just what we do on board our ships really sets us apart. So that's where, like you said, we've invested big money bringing in a brand new ship to the Australian market for the first time, and I think that'll be an absolute game changer when that comes down, because no one in Australia has ever seen a ship like that.
No, not at all. And it's going to be something, and I know you mentioned it, that is the tagline, the game changer.
It is,
that's what Ovation is being tagged as. So it is something that is going to blow everyone's minds, and I think even the product that is still in Australia at the moment is still so special. And you mentioned a little bit earlier when we were chatting that there's been the revitalisation. I think it was $80 million that you mentioned had been spent to give the ships a little bit of a leg up and ensure that they do have all those fine touches to be able to bring them up into that next echelon of what we're seeing in Australian cruising at the moment.
For sure. I mean, the last 2 years, all of our ships have been revitalised in the Australian market, so they're all looking fantastic and running a benchmark of some of the higher ships. Obviously, we know the beautiful Solstice is the highest rated ship here, so anyone for celebrity, definitely consider that. But even the Royal ships are absolutely fantastic. I love them. I love being on them, and seeing all the activities. It's just amazing for everyone, and just seeing everyone happy and enjoying their cruise experience. And also the best part about Royal is the cost factor as well. Even Celebrity is extremely well priced and has a lot of value adds with drinks packages included and gratuities and things like that. But for Royal, I mean, I've seen some sailings for between $80 to $100 a day, and I challenge anybody to go into a city anywhere in the country, stay in a 4-star hotel, have the most amazing food all day long, as much as you can eat, go and see a licensed Broadway musical of a night time, or go skydiving or flow riding or ice skating or anything like that.
You literally can't. For that amount of money, and you got to think about it too. This is breakfast, lunch and dinner, as well as basically the ability to eat as much as you can in between it anywhere on the ship. So you touched on it. To be able to get a room at a 4-star hotel in any city around Australia, you'd be absolutely, you'd be up
looking at
against
$150 to $200 alone just for that, generally. So.
Let alone being able to experience everything you do. When you are in port, you'd be able to get off and experience a new country or experience a new destination you've never been to before. That makes it so special, and the affordability is something that is, exceptional on the Royal Caribbean brand. And even when you do step up into the celebrity, which is a little bit of a higher rating, the value's still there. You mentioned it before, the inclusive drinks packages and gratuities and onboard credits, and then up into Azamara as well, getting into those destination-focused areas.
Absolutely.
It is exceptional value across the board, so it's a great, affordable way to be able to travel, which makes everyone nice and happy.
And I think the common perception is, I just get a nice cheap cruise, but what I always say to people is, you pay that little bit more to get on that quality product of Royal, Celebrity or Azamara, and you get so much more in return. All those activities that I was mentioning, the skydiving, the flow riding, all of that, that's all complimentary.
Yeah.
The biggest question I get from the general public is, is there a charge for that? Last night I did an expo, and every single thing was, do I have to pay to go on the surf rider, or do I have to pay to go on the North Star, or the ice skating rink, or anything like that that's on board our ships? It's all complimentary. So,
it is,
and that's a great thing about it,
to be able to see that level of activities on board, and you think, okay, where do I have to line up to pay for this? And you just no, straight on there.
The only thing you ever need to pay for on a Royal Caribbean ship is if you're wanting to get your drinks packages, which we discussed earlier, go into some of those specialty dining restaurants, which are of a very nominal fee compared to the experience that you're getting on those. And also, if you're wanting to do some shore excursions, also there's a separate shore excursion desk for that, so you can do your tours from there. And if you're wanting to get a massage or a treatment on board, and even in the massage and treatment rooms, you can get everything done on board our ships. You can get your teeth whitened, you can get acupuncture, massage, you name it, we can do it. So the options are endless on board our ships, which is why I love Royal.
Absolutely. So I think we're absolutely convinced now. Well, I definitely am, and if I wasn't before, I definitely am now. But Royal Caribbean and everything that they do is all about changing the game and really stepping up and evolving cruise, which is something really special. So really, really big thanks to you, Michael, for coming in and having a chat, and obviously having a chat to you all out there in TCTV land as well. So we hope to all see you on a Royal Caribbean ship over the next year or so, and hopefully once that ovation's down, she'll see a lot more passengers as well. So thanks again, Michael. I really appreciate your time.
No worries. Thank you. If you love cruising, get on board the ships and experience our point of difference. So,
absolutely.
wonderful.
Thank you. Jonathan.